Welcome back. While contributing to debate in the House of Assembly on Monday on the resolution to join the International Parliamentary Union, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis made a clarion call for the construction of a new state-of-the-art parliamentary complex. He painted a grim picture of the conditions at the current Parliament building.
But it is necessary now to say again that we must build a new Parliament. Two of these buildings date to the beginning of the 19th century. The building of one started in the late 18th century. The limitations of these old buildings hamper the functioning of Parliament. There's inadequate space for members and the staff of Parliament. And just so the public would understand, to have just a slight insight as to the conditions here at Parliament, I would only briefly in 2 sentences talk about the bathroom. There's only one urinal facility, so if one individual is in, then others must wait in line or go and utilize the services of the bank or other adjoining businesses. Mr. Deputy, in the 21st century, we have one. Y'all don't have any. Mr. Deputy, in 21st century, I think that is somewhat embarrassing.
Dr. Minnis said not just parliamentarians but staff at the House of Assembly are also being hampered by the limitations of the current building. He claims is also infested by termites. He is calling on a bipartisan approach to build a new parliamentary complex as soon as possible.
Regardless of which party is in power, we must build a new Parliament. We can't just keep talking and pledging. This generation of leaders must get it done. There's bipartisan consensus that a new Parliament is needed. However, for some reason, we collectively have not gotten the job done. Now is the time to build a modern Parliament fit for the purposes of the 21st century and beyond. It should be a beautiful an awesome place, especially as we are talking about the redevelopment of downtown. It would add to the redevelopment of downtown, and whatever is done with this particular building would add to the sightseeing or touring facility for tourists, as they have said repeatedly that there's nothing to do.
Following Dr. Minnis' contributions, Minister of Public Works and Utilities Alfred Sayers informed members of the House that there are plans in the works for construction of a new Parliament building.
I simply wanted to announce that a team has been assembled, an interdisciplinary team for the design of a new Parliament. And that team has been working, traveling to different locations, looking at various other parliaments so that they could be informed by some of the best practices in the design of the National Parliament of the Bahamas.
In the past, the former Speaker of the House of Assembly, Houston Moultrie, in the Dr. Minnis administration constantly complained about the deteriorating conditions at the House of Assembly and the Speaker's office, which he claimed at the time had a leaking roof and no running water. The Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation teaming with St. Lucia in a Pine Island Technical Exchange Workshop at the corporation's headquarters on Old Trail Road. A delegation of Bahamian artisans traveled to St. Lucia in March of this year for that island's technical exchange, and now 11 St. Lucians are here in the country for the business development training, strawcraft training, and winemaking here in the Bahamas. Minister of Environment and Natural Resources Vaughn Miller says the workshops are important for sustainable development.
And so Dr. Neely, Director of DEP, and Ms. Danielle Hannock, who is unable to be here because she's out of the country on assignment, our Forestry Acting Director, they are aggressively involved in doing their best to preserve what we have. And so how long will this be going on, Dr. Neely?
A week.
This week's event, they've invited me to return on Thursday because one of the things they did in St. Lucia was they had a wine making session. And so apparently I learned something new today, that our silvertop palm, that they're going to be, from the silvertop palm seeds, they're going to be making wine from the seeds.
Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely, says the workshop will be completely centered around Bahamian natural resources and the financial rewards that are available.
So we have silvertop palm, and we have some other trees that we actually hold as protected. And so we will be using those trees to plait, what we know as straw plaiting and weaving. We will be making traditional baskets and bags, etc. What will be new for the solutions is that we will show them how to dye the silvertop palm. There are some beautiful examples on the inside of what was done with the silvertop palm with respect to dyeing and plaiting, and some of those bowls can actually hold water. And so we'll be sharing our knowledge with respect to how we use our silvertop palm, as was done in March when they showed us how they make wine from their sister plant. And we will also be making wine, as the minister said earlier, about making wine from the seeds of the silvertop palm. This is new in the Bahamas, and so we're looking forward to what this niche market could actually bring for those who work in the sector.
As many traditional artisans have died or retired, Minister Miller says he hopes these types of workshops will reignite what the country once had.
But I know about the making of brooms and the making of bags and the making of mats, as Mr. Aubrey does. He's from Gregory County Lutheran, from Greencastle Lutheran. So we grew up in that era where our parents, particularly my grandmother, really, she was one of those artisans and excelled at doing it. And they used to actually make it to export to Nassau to be used in the straw market. But those days, unfortunately, are gone. Hopefully, this could be a part of reviving that skill, and so those artisans can reemerge again.
The workshop will end on Friday, July 28th. In an initiative to clean up the trash in some inner-city communities, Urban Renewal is collaborating with Team Up to Clean Up, which was started by entrepreneur Cheryl Cambridge in efforts to get school-aged children involved in taking care of the environment. We hear more from Urban Renewal and Social Services Minister of State Lisa Ramey and Team Up to Clean Up founder Ms. Cambridge.
Community cleanup and volunteerism summer camp. We decided this year to do it different. And so the kids, we are allowing our kids to be able to clean up the various communities. So they have 1 week, and they will be volunteering at some of the senior citizens' home and some of the children's home, where they'll be willing to clean up and help and assist. And so we're teaching them how to give back to the community, and doing so in a meaningful way and being excited to do so.
Almost 30 years ago, I worked with the Nassau Tourism Element Board, and this started almost 30 years ago, but it was just talk. People are always talking, no action. But this woman is a woman of action like myself, and so I was so happy to team up with her because she's a woman of action like myself. My setback was financial help. I was doing it by myself financially, and I needed the persons to work with me. I have a few gentlemen that are working with me, but we need a team. I cannot do it by myself. We have to do it together as a team.
Speaking to the students during the opening ceremony, Ms. Cambridge explains her aim for starting the camp, as well as the importance of keeping our environments well maintained and clear of trash.
You know, I own a taxi and dog company, and I deal with lots of high-end customers, like Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy. She's been my customer for 14 years. They love to go into the inner city. They say, Cheryl, why is the place so dirty, such a beautiful country? And I feel so bad sometimes. But instead of just sitting down and doing nothing, I'm asking all of you as children, let us be examples. It don't make sense cleaning up today and tomorrow your street is dirty again. Let's keep it clean, but I cannot do it by myself. So I'm asking all of you to set examples. Let us team up to clean up our beautiful country. And you know, in a few years from now, we can look back and say, I was a part of Urban Renewal Summer Program where we came along with the minister and Ms. Cambridge and we helped. So do you know today you're part of history? Do you realize that? You're part of history.
Consultant with the Urban Renewal Commission, Dr. Eric Fox, an expert on anger management, spoke on the importance of camps like Urban Renewal's Team Up to Clean Up and the potential impact such initiatives have in changing the lives of at-risk youth.
I'm happy to be a part of Urban Renewal Camp as a consultant with them. You know, during the summers, a lot of times kids get themselves involved in mischief. But you can help them in an atmosphere where people are speaking positive into their lives. People are influencing them personally, talking to them about good things and pushing them to get education. It takes away a lot of burden off society and the burden off the family. So this camp is really making an impact. And I am so happy that this camp is being pulled off right now to help young kids, man, to impact them and give them an opportunity to see some different things. You know, they live in a communities where there's a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of abuse, but to take them from that community for a couple of days and just, probably you don't know what a word can do to them to really change them. You know, so I'm happy to be a part of that.
According to State Minister Raming, there are roughly 600 children from various constituencies registered for the week-long camp. The National Independence Secretariat, in conjunction with the Antiquities, Monuments and Museums Corporation, the Department of Archives, and the Parliament, they have mounted a historic exhibition in the foyer of the Senate building in commemoration of the country's Golden Jubilee Independence anniversary. The exhibition features national symbols, gifts from countries around the world to the Bahamas upon attaining independence in 1973, a copy of the Constitution, a document showing the name of then Prince Charles, reading the scripture at the ecumenical service, portraits of former governors general, and other artifacts and documents. The general public is encouraged to visit the exhibition, which will be on display until Friday, July 28th. And finally, the 27th edition of the Michael Scooter Reed Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic is underway at the New Hope Community Center basketball courts as play began on Monday. Event organizer Dr. Carlos Reed and a few of the tournament sponsors officially launched the tournament last week. The 6 days of competition features 8 teams across 5 divisions, including 13 and under, 16 and under, 19 and under, the church division, and the open division. The event climaxes with the popular Family Fun Night on July 30th, showcasing the championship games and celebrity games between the clergy and politicians. The winner of the open division will receive a $2,000 cash prize, while the runner-up will receive a $1,000 cash prize. There is also the IHOP Slam Dunk Contest and the Mr. Ship It 3-point shooting contest. They continue with action this evening at Hope Center with its popular slogan, shooting hoops instead of guns. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jerino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.